the biggest turnover in the game was my phone last year. I thought the game got away from us in the first half when we had several opportunities to score what I would call point-blank layups. A lot of opportunities to get and ones where you get fouled on those layups as well too. And consequently, when we didn't do that, I felt like we gave them a great rhythm. A team that had struggled, one of the worst things you can do is to let them find themselves on offense, because now all of a sudden all their struggles turn into positive energy and they tend to shoot it, have great confidence, and get rolling on you. That's the one thing we didn't want this team to do in this building, knowing how much they had struggled up until this point. We had an opportunity to really put a little bit of distance in the first half, and that didn't happen. They were a totally different basketball team in the second half. We did a good job of hanging in there and coming back on them. And even when Josh hit his bucket, it put us in pretty good shape when he hit his 2 free throws. But yet Matthews come down and just drives Brett Bass right to the hole. We get fouled. They take control of the game again. So they made all the plays down the stretch, particularly in the last 4 or 5 possessions, and we did not. And that was the difference in the game.
Ernie, looking back at your first game against Cal, were you surprised that they had such a scoring advantage in the paint tonight?
The first game, Jabari Bird didn't play. He had 8 rebounds in the game. Wallace had 7 rebounds in the game. So they dominated our guards in the paint, and that was the difference in the game because they were able to get a lot of second chance opportunities. The game should have been dominated by us in the paint. When Kravitz has to guard Jordan, the guy's got 30 pounds on him and 4 inches. That ball should have been in there all night and went in there quite a bit. We just didn't get a lot done with it, and that turned the tables on it. So our guards will see on tape, they could need to do a better job of keeping those great rebounders off the glass, particularly their guards. We worked on it, we talked about it, we just didn't get it done.
So much of the offense is helped by Josh's abilities as a stretch 4. Does the fact that he hasn't made a 3 in Pac-12 play, is that starting to impact the offense?
We try not to look at it that way, but you know, you can look at numbers all over the place. He's knocked them down in practice. You got to realize again, he's logging a lot of minutes on that body that he has not used to logging from last year. So we try to keep him to 18-foot, but he had an opportunity again. He had great looks tonight because the bigs couldn't come out and play him. Those are shots he hitting early on. He's not hitting them now. We got to hang in there with him though.
Coach, when a guy like Jordan Matthews goes out with 2 fouls less than a minute into the game, does that change the game plan at all as a coaching staff when a guy like that goes out?
When we got him out of the game, we went back to playing him just like we played him in Berkeley, where we could give great help to clog up stuff in the inside, and we did that. The game was different this time because Wallace, very similar to Nigel Williams-Goss, completely put his pedal to the metal and dominated the speed, the tempo of the game in the first half. He has 21 points in the first half, and I'll tell you again, a lot of those were just transition buckets or transition fouls, where he was beating our entire team down the floor. We made some adjustments at halftime. He didn't get them in the second half, but the damage was done. The confidence has gotten to the game. They had control of the game. They had their courage. They had their energy. They knew they could get after us, and then they became a very dangerous team for us.
A couple times it looked like you were a little frustrated with some defensive play, a couple of fouls you guys committed going into timeouts. What did you see there on some of those?
I've been frustrated a lot this year on the defensive end, but there's not a lot we can do about that right now, but keep coaching and keep teaching and everything. And in this situation, the frustration came because I thought there was a lot more charges we could have taken in the game when guys were driving out of control. But really the frustration was the lack of blocking out. And we've talked about it and worked on it, and letting guards get 15 rebounds in the game. You have to look and see how many of those are to turn into fouls or turn into second chance opportunities. That was frustrating because we had the opportunity to get some stops and get out and run, and we didn't do it because the guards were dominating the glass as well. Josh did his job, but he didn't get a lot of help after that.